Hello students, today we are going to learn about the planet on which we live. Can somebody tell me on which planet do we live? Yes, correct. We live on the Earth. Today we are going to learn more about the Earth, especially the motion of the Earth. So I'm going to start with my lecture on Chapter 3 Geography, Motions of the Earth of Class 6. There are certain key terms which you should remember. The circle of illumination. It is an imaginary line that separates the lighted part of the earth from the darkened one. Deflection. It is a sudden change in the direction of something that is moving. Equinox, the days when the direct rays of the sun fall on the equator, causing equal day and night all over the world. Solstice, the day when the sun reaches its highest or lowest point in the sky at noon, causing longest or shortest days respectively. You know, student, in ancient time, people believed that the sun moved around the earth and that the earth is stationary. That means it doesn't move. However, in the 16th century, Nicolaus Copernicus, a Polish astronomer, brought to the world the idea that the sun is stationary and it's the earth that moves around the sun. The earth not only moves around the sun but also rotates on its axis. As you can see in the picture, two different pictures showing two different motions of the earth. First one rotation and second one is revolution. Rotation, that means it is rotating on its own axis. Revolution means it is revolving around the sun. Let's learn about rotation in detail. The spinning of earth on its own axis from west to east is called a rotation. That means eastern side receives or faces the sun first. Rotation causes day and night. The earth takes about 24 hours or one day to move around its axis or complete one rotation. Inclination of the earth's axis and the orbital plane. As you can see, this is an imaginary line or the orbital plane on which the earth moves. The earth's axis, which is an imaginary line, here you can see with the red mark, is always tilted, and the perpendicular line on the orbital plane has a difference of 23.5, almost 23.5 degree. The tiltness of the earth from this perpendicular line is 23.5 degree. The earth's axis is an imaginary line that joins the North Pole and South Pole through the center of the earth. It makes an angle of 66.5 degree with the plane of Earth's orbit. It is always tilted in the same direction and to the same angle. This inclination affects the lengths of day and night. During the summers, we experience long days and short nights, but in winters, days are short and nights are long. As Earth is spherical in shape, only one half of Earth, which is facing the Sun, has day and the other half has night. The imaginary line that separates the lightened or the illuminated part of the Earth from the darkened one is called as circle of illumination. Since the axis of the Earth is tilted, the circle of illumination does not coincide with the axis. Here is the image of circle of illumination. As you can see, sun rays are falling on the Earth's surface. Half of the Earth is receiving the sunlight, whereas the other half is having night. This is because of the spherical shape of the Earth. Effects of rotation. The sun appears to rise in the east and set in the west. It causes days and nights. It causes flattening of Earth at the poles and bulging at the equator. It causes high tides and low tides. It causes deflection of winds and ocean currents. Now, an interesting fact about Earth. When Earth was formed around 4.6 billion years ago, a day was about 6 hours long. Now it is 24 hours long. That means the speed of the spinning of the Earth was much more. Since then, Earth has slowed down. It takes longer to spin around. Every 100 years, the day gets 0.0017 seconds longer. Here comes the next type of motion of the Earth, that is revolution. Earth revolves around the Sun. This motion of the Earth around the Sun along a fixed path from west to east is called a revolution. The fixed path along which Earth revolves around the Sun is known as orbit. The orbit is elliptical in shape, almost oval in shape. Earth completes one revolution in 365 and 1/4 days. 1/4 means it is equivalent to 6 hours approximately. But for our convenience, we consider 1 year to be of 365 days. And the extra 6 hours which we have every year, we keep it as it is for 4 consecutive years. At the end of every 4 years, we add the 6 hours and make it a separate day. And in that particular year, the year consists of 366 days, and it is also known as a leap year, and the month of February has 29 days. Effects of revolution. Variation in the length of days and nights. Distribution of heat on Earth's surface. Occurrence of various seasons such as summer, winter, autumn, and spring, here I come to the end of the explanation. In my next lecture, I will make you understand the reason behind the occurrence of different types of seasons.